I've got my weekly grocery haul to share with you guys today, and I will tell you right now, I went just a little bit crazy.
Sure. Oh, sorry.
You heard that snicker in the background. My husband was not supposed to do that, but I will say he was a bit appalled when I came in with all the groceries. He was like, babe, what? What? And then he wanted to know how much I spent, and I really didn't want to tell him, but I did go just a little bit crazy. I've been a little concerned about the shortages that I've been seeing in the various stores, what I've been reading about. So I do want to talk about shortages in regards to baby food and pet food a little bit later in the grocery haul. And I've got a new vacuum sealer that I want to share. So let's get this grocery haul started. This video is brought to you by Aprondiva. Pretty and practical, we believe that an apron can be a homemaker's best accessory. Visit us at www.aprondiva.com. So when I went to the grocery store, I must admit I went a little crazy, and I did take a list with me. But after I'd been there for a bit, I started to get hungry, and the hungrier I got, the more stuff I threw into the cart. So big notice, please don't go shopping while you're hungry, and make sure you stick to your list. But let me show you what I got that I did really need, and then I'll show you some of the things I ended up throwing in. So first of all, I needed some milk, so I picked up the Simple Truth Vanilla Almond Milk. This is the sweetened brand. And my husband likes the vanilla almond better than he likes my husband likes almond milk better than he likes the soy. So I picked up the vanilla almond, and it's pretty good. And then you might remember that I talked about the red peppers and the yellow peppers being like $1.39 or $1.49 last week. Well, this week at Kroger, the colored peppers were at 99 cents. So the red, the yellow, and the orange peppers were at 99 cents. So I got 3 red, and 3 yellow. I didn't get any green peppers because I already had some, but I didn't have any of these. And so what I'll probably do is go ahead and chop up 2 of them, 2 of each, and get them in the freezer so that I'll have them, because I've been known to let a pepper or 2 go to waste, and I don't want to waste these. So I will get these put into the freezer, or at least 2 of them. Other things that I needed were sweet potatoes. I had sweet potatoes on my list because I've been shopping my shelves, and I made a pork tenderloin with candied sweet potatoes. I just kind of candied them on top of the stove, and they were really good, but those potatoes were starting to be a little bit worse for the wear, so I went ahead and used up those. So I needed to repurchase. So I got a few sweet potatoes. And I was absolutely out of celery, so I just bought 1 bunch, and I believe this celery was $1.49, and I kind of wanted to get 2, but I didn't have that much room in my fridge, so I decided just to get 1, and maybe I'll go back and get another, but I want to figure out how I want to prep it if I do buy another one. So just got the 1 celery. And I use celery in almost everything. And I got some carrots too, but I don't have them out here just yet because I can only put so much stuff on the counter at once. We were also out of salad, so I picked up this bag of classic garden salad. And I've got some spinach somewhere. Well, I'll find it in a minute. We needed onions. And then they had corn, sweet corn, 3 for $2, or you could buy 4 of them that were already cleaned and cut and that kind of thing in a pack, and 4 of them were $4. And I thought, $4 for 4 almost half pieces of corn? No thank you. So I got these at 3 for $2, and I'll clean these up myself. And then the raspberries were $1.47 with your Kroger Plus card. Now you guys might remember that a couple of weeks ago I couldn't get the digital deals because I didn't have them loaded on my Kroger Plus card. So I did make that happen today. So before I got started shopping, I did make sure I had the coupons that I wanted to use loaded on my Kroger Plus card. So I was able to get these at $1.47. And the nice thing about it is you can use the coupon up to 5 times. So I was able to get both of these at $1.47. And then one of the things that I always like to buy is the Bob Evans glazed apples. So I got 2 of those. And I can make glazed apples myself here at home, but for some reason they just don't taste like the Bob Evans glazed apples. And I will use these as a side dish with chicken, pork, whatever. I like it as a side dish, not a dessert. It's like a side dish. And so I picked up 2 of these. And then they have these grapes, black seedless grapes. So I picked up this huge pack. This is about 3 pounds of grapes. And we really like grapes, so I picked up a big pack of that. And then I always like this classic cornbread stuffing mix by Pepperidge Farm. I use it to augment whatever the cornbread that I make myself for stuffing. So I picked up one of those. I just kind of want to have some in the freezer so that if I need it, I've got it. And then I picked up chips, snacks. So these snacks will last us for the rest of the month. So I picked up this Garden of Eden blue chips, and we have a lot of chili and like tacos and that kind of thing. So I wanted to try the blue chips with that. And then I did not mean to get these. I had picked these up at first, these Tostito original chips. And then I found these, and I meant to put these back, and I forgot. So it wasn't until I got home, and I was like, well, shoot, I got both of those. But we will use them, so that's good there. And then I like to have this popcorn as well. This Smart Foods white cheddar popcorn. This white cheddar popcorn is delicious, particularly with, say, tomato soup or chili or things like that. So I picked up some of that. And my husband likes to have these kinds of snacks as well when he's having his meal. So I got these, and I think I got a bag of potato chips somewhere. And then, of course, I needed bananas, so I picked up some of those. And like I said, I was hungry, so I just started putting things in the cart, not really thinking. I was almost close to the checkout line, too, and I saw these lemon poppy seed muffins on a end cap, so I picked up these, and as you can see, one of them's already gone. My son was here when I brought the groceries in, and so he snagged one of these right away. And then I picked up this cinnamon rolls with pecans, and we used to have these sticky buns when I was in high school. They were made there on site, and they were so good, and this always makes me think of them. So as you can see, we've already gotten into these, so yeah. And I was out of cream for my coffee, so I thought I'll just make do. So I made a cup of coffee, and I put some ice cream in it for cream since I didn't have any. I thought I'll use ice cream and a little bit of this maple bourbon pecan syrup that's supposed to be for coffee, and it was absolutely horrible, and I just dumped it down the drain. So I made a point to get a half gallon of my caramel macchiato cream when I was at the grocery today, so I like that. And then I also picked up another bag of these wide Essenhouse noodles. I really like these Amish egg noodles. They're delicious in chicken and noodles and beef and noodles and soups and different things like that, tuna casseroles. And I'm really trying to make sure that I've got some of those staples on my shelf that I can make a meal with. So to all of my young homemakers out there, and even my seasoned homemakers, some of the things that I'm looking to really stock up on, and I'm encouraging you to stock up on, is a variety of pasta so that you can make a meal. So in addition to these Amish egg noodles, I also picked up some ziti. I made a really good penne pasta the other day, but I used the last of it. And I like to make baked ziti. So I bought some ziti pasta. I also got some more penne pasta. Now this is the penne rigatoni, and it's smaller than the ziti, and I like it. Also picked up some boxes of cereal, and we like the Raisin Bran Crunch because I do not like soggy bran flakes. So I picked up a box of the Raisin Bran Crunch, but also Kroger's had this crunchy raisin bran with oat clusters. So I thought, well, let's just give it a try and see how that is. So I want to make sure that on my extended pantry shelves as well as on my working pantry shelf that I have what I need for my family. I am constantly reminded by Granny Karma, who said 2 is 1 and 1 is none. And I have one box of, or had one box of Kellogg's Raisin Bran on the shelf. And I took that off the shelf and put it in my working pantry, and we started using from that. So then we had none. So I picked up these 2 boxes of Raisin Bran, so now we have some. The other pasta that I picked up was this rigatoni. I love rigatoni. I used to make it all the time when the kids were home. So I picked up some rigatoni as well. And I really wanted to have a variety of pastas so that I can make a variety of dishes. And then along the cereal lines, cream of wheat. I love cream of wheat. My family loves cream of wheat. My grandchildren always want me to make it when they're here. And there weren't many boxes of it on the shelf. And this box actually looks a little worse for the wear. But I went ahead and got it anyway because there weren't very many. And at one point, when the pandemic first started, cream of wheat was kind of hard to find. So I went ahead and got this box. And I'll try to pick up a box at least one every month for maybe 3 or 4 months so that I can have at least 4 or 5 boxes of cream of wheat on the shelf. And then other things that I picked up was this package of salted roasted peanuts. Now again, this is a snack that I tend to buy for my husband. He likes to have different kinds of snacks in the evening after dinner when he's kind of relaxed and watching TV. So I like to have a variety. So I did get these salted roasted peanuts, and then also a bag of the Simple Truth walnut pieces. Now, these walnut pieces, I believe this bag was $7.99, and I also bought a bag of the pecan pieces, but I'm not sure where they are right now. I'll get them out in a minute, but $7.99, which is up just a little bit. I just decided that for this particular shopping trip, I just need to get what I need to kind of start replenishing my extended pantry because we've been using from our pantry. So we've been using our goods, but now as I start to see my supply get depleted and then the prices are going up in the store, I thought I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of bite the bullet and do a big haul and then go back to my $125 a week. So now these are the canned goods that I picked up, as well as a few boxed items. And as I said, I was hungry when I went, and I was just beginning to throw things in the cart. And one of the things that I was aware of and that I did have on the list was crackers. Well, the crackers I had on the list were Ritz crackers. I do have 2 boxes of Ritz crackers on my pantry shelf, and I wanted to pick up a 3rd one. So I got that. And then we only had 1 box of saltine crackers. And the 1 box of saltine crackers that we have is in our working pantry, and we've been using out of it. There was none on the extended pantry. So I just picked up 1 box of saltines. I did look at the Zesto saltines, the premium saltines, but I ended up buying the Kroger brand because it was cheaper. And I made a concerted effort to look at prices while I was in the store today and decided if the store brand price looks good, I'm going to go ahead and get that. So that's what I did. Now these almond crackers, these nut thins, were not necessarily the most economical, but like I said, I was hungry, so I threw them in the cart and I thought we'd give them a try. And here are the pecans that I knew that I had picked up. We use a lot of these pecans in our oatmeal in the morning, and then sometimes if I'm making yogurt, I'll do like a parfait with yogurt and pecans and blueberries and things like that. So I did get these, and then of course whenever you're baking, making cookies or cakes or whatever, you may need pecans for that. So I want to make sure that I have some of the nut meats as an additional protein source, or just as an additional extender for some of the things that I'm making. And I picked up 2 packages of the McCormick chili mix. And, or rather not chili, but mild taco seasoning mix. We have a lot of tacos, and I don't usually buy the taco kits. I usually just buy the taco shells. And whereas I would typically make my own taco sauce and the whole 9 yards, sometimes I want something quick and I want to just be able to toss some taco seasoning mix into the ground beef or whatever it is that I'm using as a meat source. So I picked up 2 of these. Now, as I was checking out, the lady at the checkout said somebody's stocking up because she noticed that I had 2 of these of corn. And this 4-pack of corn was $2.75, which is certainly up. I recall not quite a year ago paying $1.69 for a 4-pack of corn like this, and now it's $2.75. And as we know, the corn crops did not come in last year quite as was expected. So some of the corn that we're finding in the stores are from last year's corn crop. So I thought, well, let me just go ahead and start picking up some more corn. I had stopped because I had stocked up on quite a bit, but we use corn quite a bit. We probably use 3 or 4 cans every week. If I'm making chili, I put corn in it. If I'm making tacos, particularly picadillo tacos, there's corn in it, and corn as a side dish. My husband likes this kind of a special cornbread that you put corn in it. So we use quite a bit of corn. So I picked up 2 4-packs of that. And then we also use a lot of green beans. So I picked up 2 packs of cut green beans because we use this quite a bit as a side dish. And as I said, I've been using from our extended pantry, so I'm trying to restock those. Right here in the front, I've got these little 8-ounce cans of tomato sauce. And you will notice they are not Red Gold and they are not Hunt's. They are the Kroger brand. They had the Kroger brand on sale for 39 cents a can, so I picked up 6 of those because tomato sauce is a meal maker. With a tomato sauce and some pasta and some meat, you can make a meal. So I picked up 6 of those. The Cantadina was on sale for 79 cents, and I almost grabbed those until I saw the Kroger brand was 39 cents. So we have those. Other meal makers. Crushed peeled tomatoes. You can make soups and chilies and stews and all kinds of things with tomatoes. So I picked up 3 cans of the crushed tomatoes, and then also 3 cans of the petite diced tomatoes. I did one day make an error and inadvertently picked up the chili ready tomatoes, and they were so hot I had to really make a huge batch of sauce to calm it down and then put part of it in the freezer and use it as another time. So I made a concerted effort to make sure I did not get the spicy or the chili ready tomatoes. So I picked up these. Other things I like to make sure we have on hand is cans of Glory greens. Their Glory collard greens are delicious, as is their cans of Glory turnip greens. I don't so much care for the mixed greens. I tend to like either the turnips or the collards. I like them by themselves. So I did pick up 2 cans of each of these, knowing that if we use one, then we'll just have 1 left on the shelf, which, as you know, 2 is 1 and 1 is none. So the next few times I go to the store, I'll probably try to pick up a couple of cans of these each. So what I'm trying to say to you young homemakers is you can't do it all at once. but make a plan as to how you are going to extend your food supply for the next couple of weeks. Because anything you buy now, you're buying at today's price, and next week's price may be more. So that's where I'm at right now. Picked up a couple of cans of tomato soup because I was out. I used up my cans of tomato soup. And then black beans. We use a lot of black beans. And they had this Hanover brand of black beans on sale. Yeah, the Hanover black beans were 88 cents a can, which was somewhat less than the other brands. So I got these on sale, and I did pick up, looks like I picked up 7 of those, because as I said, we use a lot of black beans. So I picked up 7 of those. And then I also use a lot of garbanzo beans. When I'm making chili, I will usually put garbanzo beans in that. So I picked up 4 cans of that because they were on sale for the same price as the black beans. So there are those. And one of the things we used to have at home, and I would make every now and then for my husband, was butter beans. And so I thought, let me just grab some of those just to have something a little bit different in the pantry. So I picked up 3 cans of the Kroger butter beans. I was trying to find lima beans and couldn't find any. Now, that doesn't mean they didn't have any. It just means that I looked and looked and looked and I couldn't find any. And so I could have been overlooking them, but I couldn't find any. I did pick up a couple of cans of sliced pears. We really do like those. I particularly like to serve these as a fruit with either breakfast or with lunch. Sometimes with dinner we'll have a fruit, but usually breakfast or lunch I might give a little sweet of fruit on the side. So I just picked up 2 cans of those. And then we do like baked beans, and I particularly like the Bush's country style baked beans. And sometimes my husband likes to cook the small cans like this when it's just the 2 of us, and then sometimes if there's more people here, we'll cook the bigger can. And this is the brown sugar hickory, which I like most. So I picked up 2 cans of that and 2 cans of these. And I left these out because I forgot to say, when you buy a large pack of grapes, don't wash them all at once and then put them in the fridge. Clip off the bunch you plan to eat and then rinse that piece, because if you rinse the whole bunch, it allows mold to grow a lot quicker around the stem edges. So don't do that. And then something else we absolutely needed was freezer bags. And so I picked up this box of storage freezer bags. They're kind of like 2 for 1. You can do either or. And they weren't very expensive, only 15 bags in the box. These were the gallon size. So I picked up 1 of those. But what we really needed were some of the quart size storage bags and then the quart size freezer bags. So I got some of those. And the 7-Up minis. I picked up 1 of these boxes. And it was $3.99 for this box of 10. So there's that. And then one other thing over here that I forgot to show you. As I continue to work on building out my extended pantry, I'm trying to pick up tuna and meat. So I picked up 2 cans of this Bumblebee albacore tuna. Now I usually buy Starkiss, but this Bumblebee tuna was at a better price, so I bought the Bumblebee tuna. It is the albacore chunk white tuna, and this will be great in tuna noodle casserole and other dishes that you can use tuna in. Tuna patties, croquettes, whatever. And then I'm trying to make sure that I pick up additional cans of meat. These Grable Country meats were $6.99 at Kroger, which is up from $4.99 of about 6 months ago. But I decided to bite the bullet and just to go ahead and get them. So I picked up 1 can of the cooked ground beef, and you can't always find that one. The other is the boneless chicken, and then the boneless turkey. And the Grable Country meat is absolutely amazing. And when it says ingredients, turkey, salt, and pepper. This one, ingredients, chicken, salt, and pepper. This one, beef, salt, and pepper. So you're getting a good quality product, and the good thing about Kroger's is they do ship online. So if you don't have a Kroger near you, you can order online and get these in, and they really are a good quality product. And if you don't can yourself, it's a way to extend the canned meats that you do have on your pantry shelf. So there's that. So now let me get these out of the way, and I'll come back with another batch of stuff. Now let's talk about filling in the gaps, and that was one of the primary things I wanted to focus on today, was filling in the gaps. One of the things that I do not have, and I only bought one, was some salad dressing other than like ranch or Italian. My husband will eat those, but he doesn't prefer those. He prefers like a tomato-based dressing. So I did pick up one bottle of the honey French dressing to begin to build that collection. And I had used the last jar of my paste chunky salsa. So I did pick up 2 jars of that. However, one is a picante sauce and one is a chunky salsa. I could not find more than one of the chunky salsa. The rest were either medium or hot, so I got the picante sauce. But these were, I will say, in a little bit of a short supply, because like I said, I could only find one of these, and this was the only mild I could find, and the rest were all medium to hot. So I did get 2 of these to begin to build up my pantry. The other thing that I got was this jar of minced garlic, and I usually buy the whole garlic bulbs, but I thought today I would just get this because I've been using a lot of garlic lately. So I got that. And I only have 1 jar of real mayonnaise on my extended pantry shelf. So I've got one in the fridge that we're working from. So to fill in the gaps, I bought another jar of mayonnaise, because as Granny Carmen says, 2 is 1 and 1 is none. And so I had 1 in the fridge and 1 on the shelf. So I picked up another bottle, or rather another jar. So I've got 2 jars of this on the shelf. I do enjoy having some salsa to use with chips. I love taco chips. When we go to our Mexican restaurants, I love taco chips. I could eat the taco chips more than the other food that I ordered. So I did order some, or rather I did pick up some Tostitos salsa so that I can eat with my taco chips. And then the other thing that I really like to make sure I keep on hand is Heinz chili sauce. I really enjoy this chili sauce. I put it in most things that I cook. It adds a lot of flavor, but none of the heat that you get with hot sauce and all the other things. So I picked up 3 jars or 3 bottles of this today just to build out my extended pantry. So 3 jars of that. And then as far as honey, as you can see, I've got 1 bottle of honey right here. And I use honey every day when I'm making my husband's tea. So I thought I'd better pick some more up. So I did pick up 1 bottle of honey. And I will try to pick up 1 each time I go to the grocery store until I have at least 5 on my extended pantry. But considering the price of honey, I just picked up the 1 bottle today. And then barbecue sauce is something that I do like to keep on hand. So I picked up 2 bottles of the Kroger Honey Sweet Barbecue Sauce. And again, I am filling in the gaps. We were just down to about 1 bottle of the barbecue sauce on our extended pantry. I like to use it when we're doing chicken, particularly chicken wings and chicken legs and other things. It's great in meatloaf and stuff like that. So I picked up 2 bottles of this. And notice it is the Kroger brand. I usually like to get Sweet Baby Ray's, but since the Kroger brand was at such a great price, Kroger is what I got today. Again, filling up the gaps. We like applesauce, and my husband loves applesauce, and he likes to have it in the morning on biscuits. Kind of like if you make apple butter, and then apple butter is great on biscuits and toast. He likes to put the applesauce on biscuits and sometimes toast as well. So I got the Mott's cinnamon applesauce. I picked up 2 cartons of those. And it was interesting trying to find this. There were other cartons of applesauce, but some of those were unsweetened, which is not what I wanted to get. So I picked up the Mott's. And then other things that I really want to make sure that I have on my pantry shelf, including my extended pantry, is various kinds of teas. And these are the kinds of teas that I like to get. I love the Yogi Lemon Ginger, and there are other brands, but I prefer the Yogi brand. So I got the Yogi Lemon Ginger, and it is good to support healthy digestion, as well as the Mango Ginger, and again, supporting healthy digestion. And then this blackberry apple cider is absolutely delicious. So we have these, and I give my husband a cup of tea every morning, and it will be one of these. And every now and then, if there's a problem with irregularity, then I like to get this Smooth Move teas. This is an organic Smooth Move, and it's by Traditional Medicines, and it's pretty good. It's got senna and some other things in it, but it's a good product to use for the occasional episode of irregularity. So I want to make sure that I've got at least 4 boxes of each of these on hand. So one of the things that I'm going to do to fill in the gaps is to make sure that I pick up 1 box of each of these each time I go grocery shopping, or at least twice a month pick up 1 of each of these boxes until I've got enough where I've got at least 4 of each of these on my extended pantry shelf. So there's that. Something that I use almost every week, taco shells. We have Taco Tuesday every week, and most of the time on Taco Tuesday we're having tacos. Every now and then I'll do a burrito bowl, and we'll use chips to have with that. It's some kind of a Mexican themed dish, enchilada casserole, burritos, that kind of thing. But more than likely it's tacos. Unless my husband is just over it. He was like, when did Taco Tuesday become a holiday? Well, it's one here in this house. So, wanted to make sure that I have some taco shells, and these are the only 2 boxes we've got right now. So I need to make sure that I pick up at least 1 box each time I get groceries, because if I use 1 box a week, then I'm really depleting my supply. So I'm going to start trying to get 2 boxes a week so that I can have some to put back. And as always, make sure you're checking your Best Buy or Use By dates on your boxes and on your cans. And then of course, coffee. I like my coffee, and I like the Starbucks brand coffee. I also like the Pete's as well. And Kroger had these for $6.99 this week. So I picked up 2 boxes of the Starbucks Decaf House Blend, and it's got notes of toffee and dusted cocoa. It's not always easy for me to find the Keurig cups in the decaf. You can find all the other brands and all the other flavors in the caffeinated, but I have a struggle finding what I want in the decaffeinated version. So I did pick up 2 boxes of these, and I had decided to get some of those little cups where you can fill the cups yourself for the Keurig, and I didn't see any. So the next time I go to Target, I'm going to look to see if I can find those so that I can start filling my own K-cups with maybe a Folgers or a Maxwell House brand or something like that. But I will continue to try to pick up at least 2, if not 3 boxes of coffee each grocery shopping trip. And I did pick up some more sweet. My son was here to help unload the groceries, so he helped my husband bring them in. And he was like, what? What? When he saw all the bags. But then when he brought in the bag that had this in it, he said, what are you doing with that 10-pound bag of chocolate? And I said, this is going on the shelf. I'm planning ahead. And Kroger had these $1 off this week. So instead of it being $10.99, it was $9.99. And you guys know I love chocolate, and I love chocolate and peanut butter. So I bought this. It's going on the shelf. The one that I bought for the shelf last week, I did open it and put some of them in a jar over there. So we've been eating that gradually, but this is going to go on the shelf. So that's those things. So now let me get in the meats and the last of the produce for this never-ending grocery haul. So here are the meats that I got, and it looks like something kind of leaked in the bag. So it's a good thing that I'm going to be getting those out. I bet it was that fish. What is this? Yeah, this fish leaked a little bit in the bag. So I'll show you what I got there. But I picked up some more drumsticks. I like to get some of these when I can. And these drumsticks were $1.99 a pound. So this pack of drumsticks was $9. So it's almost 5 pounds here. So I'll be breaking these up into about enough drumsticks for 3 different meals. So I'll do that. And then I did get some pork loin chops. These chops were regularly $5.99 a pound, but they were on sale. Well, this one was discounted. It was marked down. So I got this whole pack for $10.63 when originally it would have been $19.35. So this worked out good for us, and I'll be breaking that up into smaller packs. And then I picked up some of the chuck roast, some ground chuck. And the ground chuck was $6.99 a pound, but with your Kroger card, it was marked down. I saved $2.14 per pound, so I actually ended up paying $5.34 for this pound of ground chuck, and I got it in the meat case. And that's another tip you might consider. Sometimes if you look in the meat case, you might find something that's just a little bit better priced than what they have over in the case where all the meats are already pre-packaged. But in the meat case where the guy cuts and grinds and all of that, this was a better price. So I picked up 2 pounds of that ground chuck, but I had him put it into 1 pound packet. So I got 2 packs of that. And then I picked up 2 pounds of the tilapia fillets. And between them and the catfish, something was leaking in that bag. So it's a good thing that I'm getting them out. So this is the tilapia fillets here, and they actually look pretty good. Got some good sized ones. And I know fishing season is just starting, and my husband will begin to fill our freezer for the winter, but right now things are kind of low. Anything that's been in there for a while, he will typically in the spring, he will clear it out, so he'll give away a lot to family and friends, and so, then rebuild the supply. So these are the catfish fillets, and he's going to have some of this for lunch, and I'm going to pick the rest of it up. So let me get out my new vacuum sealer, and I'll show you that. I got a new vacuum sealer, and this company reached out to me to ask if I'd give it a try, and I was like, well, sure, I'll check it out. And since I use my vacuum sealer every week after I picked up my groceries, I thought this would be a good time to try it out. So here's my new vacuum sealer. I did get it out the other day and played around with it because I wanted to see how easy it was to use. But it's called Cromify. This is it, and it's pretty reasonably priced. And it works very similarly to my other vacuum sealers. It's got this nice little tube that comes with it that you can use to vacuum seal containers. So that came with it, as well as a roll of bags that I can cut to whatever size I need, and then some bags that are pre-cut. And these are your quart size bags, and then here's your roll. And the roll is the same width as the bag. So whereas I can make the bag bigger, I can't make the bag wider. But the bags feel like they're a pretty good weight. And when we open it up, this is where we would put our bag for sealing or vacuum sealing. Or if we're going to be cutting our own, we would put it here for sealing. These are little hooks that help lock it in place. Our heating element is here. Our heating element or sealing bar is right up here. And then these are the different little gaskets that help to cushion it when you close it up. And then here we've got the canister button with LED light. Over here we've got a mold button, and the mold button is going to be normal or gentle depending upon what it is that we're using. And the default to the mold is normal. And then over here is the food button, and depending upon the kind of food, whether or not the food is moist or dry, we would select that. And since I'm going to be doing meat, it's going to be moist. And then vacuum seal or seal, stop, and then this is our on off button, which controls the opening and closing of the machine. What I don't see is whether or not there's no cutter in here. So as always, we're going to mark our bags. So I made a couple of smaller bags for some of the smaller fillets, and I'm going to just put them, close this up. It's locked, and I'm just going to set it to seal. Okay. There we go. So it's nicely sealed, so I did pretty good. Now the writing on it. So the light goes out, and then it makes a little noise and puffs up, and there it's done. One catfish fillet is what you want in each bag. And you want to make sure you have at least 3 inches of headspace above whatever you have in there. And I've got plenty, so I'm going to now put this down into the little pocket where the air hole is to suck out the air. Got that down in there. Going to close it. And it's on the moist mode because it's meat, and I'm going to vacuum seal. You can see the air being sucked out of it. Now it's released. I think it worked pretty good. All the air is out. I'll try another one. Go ahead and get the rest of this meat packed up, and then I'll show you the results when I'm all done. I'm thinking though that this little vacuum sealer is actually quite nice, and it does have a couple of interesting features, which I'm not going to do a full-on review of this product right now. I just wanted to give it a try and see how it actually worked. and it's working pretty good. So anyway, more on that later. You stay tuned for another video on that, but let me go ahead and get this meat packed up, and then I'll get the rest of my produce taken care of. So I've got the meat and fish all packaged up, and I must say I am pleased with the way it turned out. One of the things that I really do like about this machine is the way that once it was done, the light would go out, and then it would be quiet for a second, and then it would just pop up. And so that way I would know that it was done, and then I could just take my bag out. The other good thing is it's got the moist and the dry feature. So I don't see any moisture up here at all. Like in my other ones, sometimes I could see where some of the juices from the meat would collect. I don't see that in here at all, so that's pretty good. And something else I learned is that this can come apart. I can take this off if I need to get down in there to clean it if there is some moisture, so that's kind of nice. And then it just snaps back on. So there's that. So I'm kind of pleased with that. The one thing about the bags that come in the kit is that there's no like little white label space for you to write on. So I was kind of missing that, but that's not a big deal. I just wrote on the middle of the bag with my markings, with my Sharpies as I normally do. So they all turned out fine. I can see where it sucked the air out of them, and I don't expect any freezer burn. So I'm pretty pleased with that. So let me go ahead and get this meat in the freezer, and then I will get the rest of my produce out, and then we can wrap up this never-ending grocery haul. Okay, so here are the last of the things that I got in this never-ending grocery haul, and one of them is a spiral smoked ham. Hams are always on sale around Easter time and then the week before Christmas. So I went ahead and picked this one up. It was on sale for 87 cents a pound. And so whereas it would have been $31.51, I got this one for $9.17. So this will be going into the freezer for later. And then they had sweet Italian sausages on sale. And I like to make rigatoni and penne pasta with these. So I got that. A pound of ground turkey. Sometimes I use that in my chili. And then just 1 pound of bacon. They had some really good looking bacon in the meat case. And this was $5.99 a pound. And it actually looked a lot better than the bacon that's pre-packaged. So I got a package of Indiana Kitchen brown sugar bacon. So that'll be really good to have for breakfast or with something else. I needed some non-fat plain Greek yogurt. I use these in my smoothies, and sometimes I use it in place of sour cream. So I picked up that. 1 carton of Kroger sour cream, and also some orange juice. I try to get one every week or every couple of weeks. It'll take us maybe a whole week, sometimes almost 10 days to go through a bottle of OJ, so I didn't need to get a lot of that. Blueberries were at a good price, and like I said, I had things loaded in on my Kroger Plus card, so I was able to get those, as well as strawberries, so I got those. And then I think I'm going to make some green beans and potatoes as a supper one day this week. So I got these green beans at Kroger, and the price was ridiculous. But what can I say? Green beans aren't in season yet. And then I got a carton of baby spinach, and I'll saute some of that as well as put it in smoothies. Some English cucumbers to have with salads. And of course, I gotta have carrots. So I got both these bags of carrots. So this produce should last me until the end of the month. So now one of the things that I wanted to talk about was the shortage right now of baby food. And baby food is actually being limited, or shall I say rationed, as to how much you can purchase at any one time. Many of the stores like Target, Walmart, Walgreens, you could only buy so many cartons of formula or so many cartons of this or that kind of baby product at each time. So the question that I've been seeing floating around on YouTube and on the internet is, should I make my own baby food in light of the current limited supplies of baby formula? Making your own baby food is a pretty simple thing to do. All you have to do is put it in your food processor, maybe add a little bit of water. Depending upon the age of the child, you can either puree it, whatever. So making your own baby food can be pretty easy. You just want to make sure you get it processed enough so that it's smooth enough for the baby to get it down. Making your own formula is a completely different story. The American Academy of Pediatrics does not recommend that you make your own formula. Now, I remember when my sisters were little, when Mickey Blue Skies and my other sister Lynn were babies, I remember watching my mom make formula. Well, this was almost 50 years ago. It was certainly more than 50 years ago. And that's what people did back then. If you didn't breastfeed, you made your own formula. They used carnation evaporated milk and Karo syrup and some other things. Well, today we know that that is not the best process. So what is recommended is that, one, you breastfeed if at all possible. If your child is at an age where you're no longer breastfeeding, or that's not a choice that you make, then you are encouraged to try to purchase and have on hand at least 2 weeks supply of baby food. If you do it that way, there is enough. They don't want you to go out and rush out and panic buy, but just buy baby food or baby formula gradually so that you have enough for a 2-week supply for your baby. Again, you want to have on hand a 2-week supply of baby formula for your baby and gradually build that up as you can. But please, please, please don't try to make your own baby formula. The other thing is that if your baby is small enough, and let's say when you first came home from having the baby, you chose not to breastfeed, and now you wish to make a different choice. You want to maybe consider breastfeeding. You can breastfeed at a later date. There is a way to stimulate the breast enough that you can cause that to happen, but you're probably going to need some guidance by your OBGYN. Or by someone that's in the La Leche League or a breastfeeding support person. So if that's something you want to explore, I will link a friend's information in the description box below. She's a breastfeeding expert. I'll link her information below so that you can check that out. But by any means, you do want to check with your pediatrician or with your OBGYN if you want to consider trying to breastfeed at a later date. So I'll put some links in the description box for this Cromify Vacuum Sealer, and then I'll also do a bonafide unboxing and video of the vacuum sealer itself so I can show you some of the ins and outs associated with it, more so than I did today. And do come back and check out some of my other homemaking stories. In the meantime, this is Denise Jordan saying you are not done yet. Click on the link in the comment section below and check out more grocery hauls or other homemaking stories. And I will see you next time. And don't forget to visit us at www.aprondiva.com.